Let's shift our focus to Pakistan's Balochistan province, where the rebel group targeted military and security installations with guns and rockets in the city of Mach. According to reports, several Pakistani security officials were killed in the overnight attack. The Baloch Liberation Army has initiated Operation Dara-e-Bolan in the Mach and Bolan regions of Balochistan in alliance with the BLA's elite units, including the Majeed Brigade, Special Tactical Operations Squad, Fateh Squad and Intelligence Wing. A report.
4 Pakistani security officials were killed in an overnight attack in Pakistan's southwestern Balochistan province. Baloch Liberation Army or BLA, an armed rebel group in the region, claimed responsibility for the attack. The rebel group targeted military and security installations with guns and rockets in the city of Mach, 65 kilometers south of Balochistan's capital, Quetta. Recently, the Baloch Liberation Army has initiated Operation Dara-e-Bolan in the Mach and Bolan regions of Balochistan in alliance with the BLA's elite units, including the Majeed Brigade, Special Tactical Operations Squad, Fateh Squad and Intelligence Wing. Jian Baloch, the spokesperson for the BLA, advised residents in Mach city and the surrounding areas to stay indoors and avoid highways due to ongoing activities. The operation has reportedly resulted in extensive damage to Mach jail and several government buildings. BLA forces are believed to have seized control of multiple railway stations and are engaging in combat at various locations, including the FC Commandant's office and jail colony. BLA calls itself the armed front of the secessionist Balochistan movement, seeking independence from Pakistan. This situation highlights the escalating conflict in the area and the BLA's increased targeting of the Pakistani army.
The Baloch Liberation Army have launched this attack operation, I would say, Dara-e-Bolan on 29th of January 2024, and it was ended on the evening of 31st of January 2024. So that operation lasted for over 2 days, and the Baloch Liberation Army claimed it has killed over 60 military personnel. It has targeting many military and governmental installation in that area. BLA has captured over 70-kilometer long area where footage shows that the freedom fighters of Baloch Liberation Army are walking on the streets of Mach, and this was a historical attack by any Baloch militant organization in the history of Baloch resistance movement against Pakistan.
Meanwhile, a large number of people from parts of Balochistan gathered to participate in the Baloch Yakjahiti Committee's protest in Balochistan's capital city, Quetta. Baloch activists who were staging a sit-in in Islamabad since last month against human rights abuses in Balochistan province called off their demonstration. Baloch protesters were demonstrating in the federal capital since December 20, 2023, denouncing enforced disappearances and extrajudicial killings. Last month, Islamabad police cracked down on Baloch demonstrators and demolished camps set up outside the National Press Club. The majority of the demonstrators were arrested by police, which provoked outrage throughout the nation. The administration first justified the crackdown, saying it was a necessary precaution to avert a catastrophe.
Since its inception, it has never provided justice to Balochistan and the people of Balochistan, the Baloch people. It has done exactly the same thing this time. So the families of the Baloch missing persons were in Islamabad protesting in cold weather, and Islamabad was, instead of providing them justice, instead of sympathizing with them, instead of listening to their painful stories, they start blaming the victims, they start blaming the protesters, they start blaming the leaders of Baloch Yakjati Committee, they start blaming the Dr. Maharang Baloch, Samidin Baloch, and other leaders of the Baloch Yakjati Committee and Voice for Baloch Missing Person. And they just show the world what their real face is, how ignorant the Pakistani state is, how brutal the Pakistani state is.
Balochistan's history is marked by regular insurgencies following Pakistan's annexation of the autonomous Baloch state of Kalat in 1948. Baloch groups have consistently clashed with Pakistani security forces, demanding their rights and autonomy for ethnic Baloch regions or complete freedom from the clutches of Islamabad.
In the last 5 to 7 years, what we are seeing and what we are witnessing, it is that their intensity in their attack is growing. Despite what the Pakistan army is claiming, despite what the Pakistan army is saying that the militants are surrendering, that they have, some organizational leaders, they have surrendered. Even after that, the number of the Baloch militants are increasing.
Civilians have suffered greatly from these conflicts, facing unlawful detentions and extrajudicial killings by military, police, and paramilitary personnel. Global media outlets have time and again highlighted the discovery of hundreds of bodies of suspected armed separatists and political activists in Balochistan province, pointing to extrajudicial killings by Pakistani security forces. Numerous projects, including mining and energy initiatives, have disproportionately benefited outsiders while depriving locals of resources and job opportunities. These grievances have fueled protests against targeted killings and false encounters, both within Balochistan and in Western countries. In the absence of enough international support, some Baloch rebels say they had to pick guns as a last-ditch effort to raise their demands and save their dignity.